Hey folks, how you doing? Hope you're well. Welcome to another video here on the channel, and in this one we're taking a look at All Points North and the Great British Escapades, two ultras I did this year in the very same week.
So I may or may have not got my big toe in a Katie Kookaburra video because apparently that is disgusting. Right, into the sunshine I go.
So here we go, off into the night, the first night, heading to two checkpoints, Widdermore near Colne and the Dales Bike Centre in Yorkshire.
Well, good morning, folks.
And here I am, going slowly up
be.
Buttertubs for the first time in the race.
4:10 in the morning, and look at that skyline. Hello sheep, good morning. Hello bunnies. This is Buttertubs. Beautiful. Hey, have a look at that over my shoulder there.
Enjoying a bit of an ice cream in Lake Windermere before heading on to Rhinos Pass, and then straight up to Hardknot as well.
Well, at least I've only got to this and Hardknot once.
Now I did originally plan on doing Hardknot Pass in both directions, and then last minute changed the route. I'm so glad I did, because it was tough in one direction. It took a lot of time to get up both passes in the Lake District, so I think I made the right decision. I headed towards Keswick and up the west and the north end side, just mirroring the A66. Here we are. It was kind of a standoff, not a standoff. I kept going. I went left with the rider, and then I went right. He went the same way as I did. Tried not to collide on the way down. And this was Wasdale Head, another spectacular part of the Lake District. There's the control right at the very end there. Bit tricky to get into with traffic. Not a very wide road. And then woke up at Long Meg, the next control.
So cold.
And I'll show you in a second. Loads of stones. It was like a druid circle basically, and that oak tree behind me is where I threw down my bivvy bag the night before.
It was really cold. Turn the camera around. You can see a big stone circle all the way around. I'm partially dressed. I need to keep moving, get warmed up.
And then it was off again, heading towards Northumberland. But first I had to get across the Hartside Pass, which took a long time in the morning. Here we are, going through North Yorkshire, jumping forward a little bit past Revo Abbey, I think it is, might be wrong. And then finally, towards the end of the venture, here I am in the final bus stop of that journey near Fileybrigg, in a little village called Wold-Newton.
All worth it in the end.
And it was celebrating at the end. Well, towards the end, it was the final control. I still had to get back to Sheffield.
It's a race that is.
And I was just relaxing a lot here, and no longer treating it as a race. Just admiring the views of the East Yorkshire coastline. And there I was, feeling a little bit sorry and worse for wear. So that was the All Points North. And then 2 days later, on to the next ultra, the Great British Escapades, which started on a Thursday. It's a 480km off-road bike packing race stroke adventure, nearly 8,000 metres of climbing, big turnout. Actually completely different to All Points North. Different kind of bikes, different kind of riders, different clothing, different attitudes. This guy here had made his own custom frame bag, and the top one, believe it or not, is made out of shopping bags.
It looks like you're pairing it with another bag at the top. Sainsbury's bag for life. Oh right, okay. Wow.
This was a really enjoyable and completely different event to All Points North. I had loads of fun on this. This was mainly down in the North and South Downs. in southern England. Part of the UK I've never travelled to before. Father, son in the orange there. First pit stop.
Tip point 1 is at 190. So I'm trying to get as much done during the night.
Here we are, continuing into the nighttime period. I was going to try and ride all the way through the night, but unfortunately didn't quite make it.
So it's 1:30, still riding, middle of town, don't know where. So I'm, you know, hoping to get back on the trail soon and find somewhere to bivvy up pretty pronto.
Rising early the next morning, I think about 4:20. Lovely and bright, the weather was perfect, there was no rain to speak of.
Oh my god.
Sand, sand and sand.
I'm exhausted.
I wasn't expecting sand. As you see, it's quite deep in places.
Never again I'm doing two events so close to one another.
Thankfully there wasn't that too much of it. Riding at the next control. Back into more sand.
It is turning out to be a nice day.
More gates, more bridleways, more woods. This is where I arrived in the South Downs, which was the most memorable part of the Great British Escapades. Then I'm giving myself a pat on the back as I reached the top of the South Downs. Sunset was quickly arriving, trying to find a spot. In the end I pitched down with two other riders down in the valleys away from the spectacular views of the South Downs.
Well, good morning, folks.
Here we are, arriving early in the morning, having reached the first hill,
We've got Brighton.
looking down on the sheep and the clouds starting to clear. There was lots and lots of enjoyable descents throughout the South Downs, and that was just one of many. More gates. Now I am coming to the end of the Great British Escapades, into the final day, which I rode all the way through. Finally finished at, I think it was about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was really difficult at the end.
Since come off the South Downs, it's been onto the road, so knocking down those kilometres fairly quickly. So it's tea time. Not sure where we are.
It's the time.
How many times have I said that?
Into the nighttime period, I was joined by a couple of riders. Like I said before, it was a very difficult evening period, especially off-road. It was not easy to navigate, got lost a few times. Each of us fell off at least once. There we have it, the Great British Escapades. And there we are back home celebrating not one but two brevet cards. That was one hell of a week.